Hey, everybody. Happy lunchtime to you. I am here with Davor from the Tennis House and really excited to have him on. We're going to go through Emilio Sanchez's 360. Oh, I got myself right here. I got to turn that down.
Mhm.
We're going to go through Emilio Sanchez's 360 tennis system. Why? Because that man right there I'm talking to, Davor, is now working with Emilio. In fact, we're going to do a camp, which is really exciting, November 14th through the 16th, where we're going to go through a lot of the stuff that you're going to learn today. By the way, we do have 2 spots available for that. I will put the link in the chat if you are interested. We have a total of 12 players, so it's going to be 4 players on the court. We had a couple people who had to cancel, so we now have 2 spots available for you guys. So apply if you want to come. Davor, how are you doing today?
Oh, great, great. Just came back, went with Emilio and Coach Victor. We went to Guadalajara, Mexico, to spread the teaching system and, the Spanish 360 Emilio system. And we had some good days there and met some great people, great energy. And yeah, the Mexicans are very passionate for tennis, not just soccer and boxing. And so we had a really good time there. So they treated us really well.
Oh, that's really nice. So yeah, you met kind of like a celebrity
Yeah.
um, there.
Form-
Tell us.
Checo is a Formula One driver who's right up there in the rankings right now. It's a legend in Mexico, and was an honor meeting him. Like as a yeah, as you know, Formula One is a very tough sport with all the G forces in there, and then he's super fit. Like when I saw him on the court, like he's pretty pretty fit guy and super nice guy. We had a good time there, and yeah, so it's nice to meet someone of that caliber and learn a little bit from the mindset of those people. You know what drives them, and
Yeah.
that's very good.
Well, what drives them is the car. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. Anyway, so
yeah,
guys, if you are on, we see that we're getting a nice little crowd here. If you're on, let us know where you're from, and we're excited to talk to you. Also, let us know if you know who Emilio Sanchez is. Most of you guys should know. He was a pretty big deal. I'll just give a little bit of a brief intro who Emilio is and why Davor went to go work for him. Is he's a legend basically in tennis. He reached number 6 in the world. He has won 3, I believe, 3 Grand Slams in doubles. A couple with his brother. 5,
hmm
5 Grand Slams in doubles.
hmm
His sister, number 1 in the world, Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. She was amazing for
yeah,
over a decade and number 1 for a decent part of that, and would have battles with Martina Navratilova and Steffi Graf and Monica Seles and
and Serena
Gabriela.
Williams,
Yeah, right. She
and
played for, yeah, exactly.
she has a
So
positive record against Serena. I just wanted
does
to,
she?
yeah,
Does
yeah.
she? Okay. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, here we go. We got a comment from Christopher, who is near the top of our leaderboard.
Oh,
Uh, we actually have on our tennis condivore, I had a top 25 list.
saw that.
I had to make it a top 50 list because everybody was maxed out on points. So that's how competitive it is. And Christopher's near the top there. Big supporter of Tennis Con over the years. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
Uh,
love that.
I am from Bonita Springs, about 15 minutes away. Well, you should come out to. Oh, that's Hope
Yes.
too. Hope, you should come on out for the November 14th to 16th. Maybe before we get into today's lesson,
hmm
tell everybody about you invited me to do a camp with you that we're going to do in Naples, November
Yeah.
14th to the 16th. Tell us about the camp and what kind of good stuff we're all going to experience there. I'm looking forward to it myself. I've never been to the Emilio Sanchez
Yeah.
Academy before.
You've been to my old workplace in Covington, Louisiana. So that's how Peter and I connected. We knew each other before, but I've done something similar there. But now being with Emilio here in Naples, Florida, opens a whole new game. And Naples, first of all, is a beautiful location. Very nice here, very pretty. The academy is amazing. We have almost 40 courts, and I was just thinking, what can we do to help players grow their game? And I know, Peter, but you are very tennis crazy in a good sense, so I was thinking to kick off the series with you and Emilio, and how it looks like we're gonna have 3 days of very intense performance on court. We're gonna do the Friday from 10 to 12. We're gonna go through the Emilio system, Spanish system, the 360 system on court. And then we're gonna have where we're gonna talk a little bit later in detail what it is. And then we're gonna have another 2 hours on court. And we give everyone the option, if they want to stay longer, they can even play more tennis if they like more than 4 hours. Some might play 6 hours, but so yeah, so that's kind of the Friday on court. And then what I like to do, or what was very nice over the years when we did that, is having an evening together. We have one of the hotels we are having is the AC Marriott, and it's right in the heart of Naples, in the old town, and it's right close to the beach. It's beautiful there. So we're gonna have like a cocktail evening kickoff where Emilio's gonna be there, Pete is gonna be there, I'm gonna be there, you're gonna be there, and it's an unique chance to get to close to us, to Emilio, to Peter, to find more out about Emilio's past as well. It's very interesting. He's a very interesting character, and then he's a legend, and he has some good stories. So then a Saturday, and I forgot we're gonna throw in a little aqua session where we're gonna be, doing fitness in the water, which is really fun, and you guys gonna see that's gonna be something great workouts. Rafa and Nadal used to do those a lot because to
Yes,
save
I've seen videos. Yeah.
to save his joints, and it's very intense. And the kids do that, especially in the summer here. They do a lot of those. And then Saturday, the same routine, 10 to 12. We focus on special areas of the game, lunch. Another 2 hours on the court, and then in the evening we're gonna have a dinner at the beautiful academy here. So we want to make sure that everyone gets the most out of this place and the academy as well, and like a little bonding time. And then Sunday we go and have some match play, and everything is going to be recorded. We have the whole session. We record the session, and then everything is going to be available for you guys to review, because on 30 of all of the courts we have a camera up there, so we have to make great use of that because it's something unique to have as well. And we have a match play, and we will give you constructive feedback. What we see, we're going to go inside and look a little bit at the footage together. You have a great pair of eyes there. Peter's amazing with the little details. Emilio spots everything anyway. He doesn't even need the camera. For us coaches, it's amazing how that changed. Like 60 years ago, you had to see everything with your eye, and you couldn't rely on the replay and on the zoom in and all those things. So those things are amazing. Used to make use of the camera for sure. Yeah, and altogether, it's what better place for, especially in the U.S. You can choose the Naples, Florida, to spend time here. To have a little bit of time off the court as well if you want to explore this area. Come with your spouse. Bring the family. Like, yeah, make it a trip and work hard those days. And I think it's an amazing place to do all that here.
Yeah, great stuff. Great stuff. Just one thing. I'm not sure if it's something you're doing or
Sounds.
not. The sound. I think the more you have it further away, it actually sounds better. And maybe
Okay.
maybe it was you tapping on the table. There was
All
like a
right.
little bit of static. I could hear everything you were saying perfectly. It just kind of like
Let me make
was
it a little bit quieter. Let's
was
say that.
crunch. It was crunchy.
Actually, I don't know if
Okay.
it's mine.
Yeah, that's super crunchy.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, you got a lot of stuff going on. Now it's really bad. Now we can't understand what you're saying. Now I wish I would have told you this. How's Let's give
Wait,
him a second.
Are you sure that? Are you sure it comes from my end? Because
I don't know.
I.
Well, yeah, I think it definitely is your end. But anyway, we could hear what you're saying. Don't freak too much out about it.
I can
We'll,
I can get out quickly and back in. It takes me a second. Shall I try that?
yeah, maybe because yeah, it is kind of getting bad. I will.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk to everybody, and then you
yeah.
come. So guys, Davor is going to be gone for a second. We were having some technical difficulty. That's the fun of a live stream. Um, let's see. I'm going to put Mark here. Pete, the training this year is amazing. So many great tips on each video so far. Yeah. So if you are a lifetime member, maybe let me know how the train's going. Also, let me know if you're having trouble logging in or anything. I send a lot of emails out to try and let you know, like, hey, you can send me an email to crunchtimecoaching@gmail.com and I will set you up, because I realize sometimes people lose passwords, or after they purchase, they don't seem to have it put in their dashboard right away. But just let me know that. And Davor is back. Let's see how it sounds. All right, go ahead, talk.
I still hear that sound. I just came back in, but
You hear
let
it.
me.
Oh, okay. It's okay. It's manageable. I think the further you are away from the camera, it actually sounds better. But let's move forward. Let's go into the 360 um, system and what it is about. If you guys don't know, after Emilio retired from the Pro Tour, he got very into coaching, built a massive reputation in Spain and the United States for really sharing secrets on footwork patterns, shot selection, all that kind of good stuff. And so ordinarily this information has been shared with like top juniors and pros, but we thought, hey, you guys are obsessed enough to where you want to be shown this too, because a lot of club players typically just get the, hey, hit 3 balls, run back in line training, and go to socials and sign up for your team clinics and matches. But this is definitely another level that top players are exposed to. So what is the 360 system in a nutshell, and how did Emilio develop it over the years?
So it's a complex system. So it's I'm probably not going to be able to put it in a sentence. So, there's four pillars that we focus a lot, obviously, on. It's a technical pillar, the grips, biomechanics, swing path, consistency. The tactical pillar, what patterns you play. So we're big on the patterns, because the patterns, if you have the patterns well trained, that patterns are the least that break in the match, because you can always rely on your patterns, right? The point construction and the decision making, that's something I feel like is not taught a lot and enough. So because that's what it is all about on the court, how you construct your point, and then like how you build your points, like chess, slowly building the point and finishing ideally at the net, so long story short. And then the physical is very important. So the 360, the way we train, the footwork and the physical part are like immense. So you're probably going to be very tired after those 3 days, because if you're not used to work like that, it's all about positioning yourself at the right moment to the right ball in the right manner, and yeah, and then the movement and the balance, the endurance, all those things, and then the mental part is crucial. The resilience, the routines. Like you lose a point. When we train, it's not like we just don't like our students. We don't let them just go back and play the next point. You have to have routines before you serve, after you lost a point, after you won a point. All those routines are very important, because those are the one again. If you have great routines, you're less likely to break down and into in an intense situation. And then the discipline and the emotional control. So Coach Victor at the academy, he does a great job with the kids. He's taking care of every kid, and we have him when we have our sessions. He talks to the players during the sessions, what is going on in what moment in their head, to understand, and the guiding the players. So those are very important. And
Devore, hold,
cool.
hold
Yeah.
on. You first of all, you sounded way better. Devore's sound is much better, but then all of a sudden, just something happened again where it came back, and I couldn't understand what you were saying the last couple sentences. Um,
Is that better again?
it's better again. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, let me see.
No, that's not bad. Anyway, what he just had to say was pretty good, very thorough. I'm actually looking forward to learning a lot about that. This is the fun part of live, guys. Sorry that we're dealing with all this for you here. Does anybody have any questions on the 360 system? What I like about it is it sounds like it's a holistic way to training Davor, to where a lot of people focus on the technique and make your strokes perfect, and you'll be superior to your opponents. But as we know, especially in club tennis, sometimes having great technique, if you don't know how to use it, can be an absolute downfall of your game. It's one of the most frustrating things to see and to listen to stories of club players who have worked so hard in their game. They have really nice technique, and then they go out to lose to people who have inferior technique, and they're pissed about it, and then you have people who are again working so hard on the technique, but they don't really take their movement to the level it needs to be, and then it's all about automating the patterns, which I know Emilio is big on. Emilio will put you in different situations in the court, and then he has you hit to certain targets over and over and over again. So you're playing smart tennis kind of on autopilot. Is that kind of like the idea?
Yes, and then what Emilio does great is, and every of the coaches here, our philosophy, when we do fed drills, for example, is not just feeding the ball in. The pros, you move according to the situation you put the player in. So, if you feed them a deep defensive ball, then there's a certain choices the player has to hit the ball back to, right? Either deep cross court or deep in the middle or deep down the line. And then the coaches move with that pattern. And it's more like, when you create a synchronization and a flow on the court. It's not just standing on one side of the court and feeding the ball. And so the pros move actually a lot into when we do the fat balls, for example. And
Mm.
then what's very big is when we have the system, what we always do is 30% controls, where ball control and consistency drills at the beginning. Those are very important to set the tone for the sessions before the warm up is the most important, but then a lot of live balls, like hitting a forehand and switching back and always forehand backhand, or like different patterns as in the warm ups. One hits inside out, the other one defends with the backhand. So all those things you can set the tone already at the beginning when you do the controls. So the controls are very important because way too often there's only drills and lessons, and when we teach adults as well, I see that a lot of times it's all about drills, and the control part actually falls a little bit apart, and that's one part of what I like a lot at the system is like the split between 30% controls, then 30% of drills with the coach where you work on specific technical and tactical stuff. And then you have a 30% of match play where you put the kids, either they play out points with serving in the adults, or you put them into situation of match play. So basically, it's during all the sessions, there's always 30% control, 30% drills, 30% match play. And then we call like 10% is like the free play or individualization, where you have time with your player and talk about certain things, aspects of the court. So, and I feel like I caught myself in the past doing way too much technique with the players. And then the players get too technical and they don't understand the game actually what's happening, and Pete, you teach a lot of doubles, I teach a lot of doubles, and how often do we see players going to clinics and they just play, they play the points out, and they don't know where to stand, what to do. That's one part, but the other part is too, the technical has to be taught. That's why I like this so much, that mixture, because if you have the wrong grip, let's talk about, clinics. If you have a lot of players with the forehand grip, what do? They get closer to the net because everything above the net level, they have an easy volley on those, right? As soon as they stand back and get a low volley to their forehand, they're going to start missing because they have the wrong grip. So to hide their limitation, they just go closer to the net, and then everything kind of falls apart and they can't improve. So the technical is very important, but most important, as you said, when for example a 30-year-old young lady started to play tennis for 2 years, they play against a 75-year-old lady, and they will lose because the experience on the court, right? The lady, the more experienced player knows where to stand, where to put the balls, and all those little things. And I feel like in the system here, with dividing it into controls, drills, and match play, allows the players to improve in a broader spectrum. So that's kind of, that's why I like it so much, and
Yeah.
I started to implement that in all my sessions as well.
Yeah. Okay. So we have a question, and I think I already know the answer to this. I'm going to let you answer after I kind of guess. I mean,
Yeah.
is it just applicable to singles? And I would say I don't think so, because we have Emilio with 5 Grand Slam doubles titles, and we also have Arantxa Sanchez Vicario. Now, what's interesting is you would think, oh, well, she couldn't be a good doubles player because look
Mm,
at the way she played. She was awesome in doubles. She
yeah,
also was very good. I don't know how many Grand Slams she had in doubles, but I know I've seen her in a
a
lot
lot.
of finals. I've seen a lot of highlights of her in Grand Slam finals at doubles, but I'm not going to speculate to
She
how many
had
she won.
four in singles, so the rest must be in doubles then. So,
Yeah, yeah. So I
so
mean,
it's 14 total, I think. Yeah.
yeah. So
No, to
she
answer your
was. Yeah. Go ahead.
yeah, no, totally. Doubles. So, as I mentioned earlier, we just went to Mexico and we had a doubles day. And the way Emilio teaches doubles is different than anything you've seen before. I can say that because I experienced it and I teach it now. And it's a lot about, and it's really cool. So he divides the court in 4 areas. You have the area around the baseline where you have, where you have your so there you can hit various shots there: defense forehand, new counter punch forehand, attacking forehand. The same on the backhand side in that area around the baseline. Then when you enter the baseline a little bit, you have the second zone, he calls it, is where you can only attack and move to the next zone. There's no more room to go back. So basically the no man's position. So you have one shot in that certain area. And then you get closer to the service line area and close to the net. That's the third area, the third zone. And there you can as well, like at the baseline, get defense volleys, offensive volleys, counter punching, so you have again more movement there, and then you have about 4 or 5 feet away from the net the finishing area. And that's again only one shot. So the way he teaches then is like, you have to finish your shots there. There's no more room for a ball to come back on that, and on the approach. So there's only one shot, and then you have zone 3 and 1. I wish I could show you on the diagram, but you're going to learn it when you come. You have those various shots, and then he bases all his coaching around that system. It's really interesting, and how to open the court. If you have two good net players and they play one out, one back, it's hard to get to the middle, right? Because the middle is covered by the net player. So there's a lot of working on opening the court up to get to the middle, to push the baseline player off the
Hmm.
court. And he has many amazing drills for that. And we just did that in Mexico. It was very eye-opening for many players there. So it's a little bit different than what we are used to, and it's a great system. So yeah, doubles certainly he can teach a lot in doubles. A lot of things I learned as well. So
Yeah, yeah. Guys, it's going to be a good camp because we're going to do pretty much everything where there's some people who signed up who actually say they're more singles players. And so we're
mhm,
going to have some singles stuff. We're going to have obviously double stuff because we know that it's not a junior camp. Right. We know it's an adult camp. And that's another thing, too, that people don't realize is Emilio does work now, especially more and more with adults
yes,
who play club tennis, and so it's not like he's going to run you through a junior academy as far as the overall intensity, but you are going to be working harder than you probably are used to because he's not going to let you get away with not trying to work on footwork patterns and getting. And I think another thing that you guys really like out of this, one of my biggest uh, things I'm noticing more and more is when I do doubles camps, adults are saying, I just am confused out there. I really don't know where I should be and when I should be. And, if you just start talking to them, hey, they know what no man's land is.
yeah,
They know what a bad shot is. Like they don't, they sell themselves short. I mean, they understand what to do and what not to do in a lot. But when it comes to actually then doing it and reacting in real time, then they don't do it. And that's why they feel like they don't know how to do it. But
yes, correct,
a lot of the way Emilio is going to teach you is how to automate shifting from offense, defense, and neutral. And that's what
yeah,
I see that club players just can't do in real time. They don't have the automation and the awareness to react to the shot that they're hitting and to the shot that their opponent's about to hit. So they just stand in the wrong spots, even though they know in theory, if you were to stop the point and say, hey, should you be standing there right now? They would say, oh, I shouldn't be here. But when the point is happening in real time, they are exactly where they shouldn't be. So that's a big part of his train, right? Is kind of
yes.
automating the offense, defense, neutral.
Yes, correct. Yeah, it's all about, in the end, automation, because when you get nervous, You need to fall back on something, when you get excited or when you fear something or you get overexcited. You need to fall back onto that automation and the patterns. That's a big thing. The patterns are a big, not just the footwork as well, not just hitting cross court or exchanges, as well, like being dominant in singles and inside out, like it's big, right? Craig O'Shaughnessy talking about the C area and singles, and the sword and the shield, like your forehand is the stronger shot, and that's why Novak, when used to dominate with the backhand, but then he had to change it as well because the forehand is the more offensive and the more penetrating shot. So, from that C area and singles, and then in doubles, dominating the net and not being scared to overhead too. We're going to work a lot on the overheads as well because that's one of the most critical areas in the recreational tennis is those overheads and fear of getting lobbed. So the positioning going to be well explained by Emilio and us. When do I actually have to fear the lob, and when can I be confident to be in the right position and how to hit those? So overheads are a big thing as well. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay, great. Now, what I want to do to kind of end today's chat is, of course, we'd love to have you at the camp. If you're listening to this and are interested, I'm going to put the link in here again. You can apply. But we also understand there's only 2 spots left, number one,
Yeah.
and most people are not going to be able to come to the camp. We understand that. We hope at some point you'll be able to go out there with Davor, and I'll be doing lots more stuff with Davor over the years, which I'm excited
Yes.
about.
I'm excited as well, Peter.
But if you were to give people like maybe a weekly practice plan to start to do some drills that Emilio would have you do at the academy, so people are like, I want to do this stuff, but I don't know how to do it, and I have to train by myself. Maybe they've got access to a ball machine or a
Hmm.
partner or a coach. What would be maybe like the top 2 or 3 things, or whatever, you're just free
Yeah.
flowing in your mind? I don't want to limit you.
Yeah.
How
No.
would you tell somebody, what would you say is important for them to start doing so that they could start to get little bits and pieces of the 360 system and practice on their own?
So you mentioned the ball machine. If they can practice on their own, big part is in the system. The famous X when
Yes.
he has an X in the middle of the baseline going through like this. So that's the movements. Entering and exiting the baseline. So if you take the X away, if you have just a V, then you have the V forward where you can like have a V coming out of the baseline. Maybe you don't have a piece of paper there, do you, Peter?
I do. You know what's so frustrating is I have this beautiful like TV I've been displaying, but it broke down the other day. I actually ordered, I love it so much, and then I found this, the internet always knows what's happening to you in your life, by the way. So I just looked to
Yes.
see about repairing it. And then I got an offer yesterday from this other competitor company to where they had a huge discount. So I ordered 3 of them yesterday. So
Wow.
otherwise we could bring out the TV. But yeah, so I'm drawing it right now,
Yeah.
which is going to be awful because I draw like
No.
I'm 4 years old.
Yeah,
Uh, but
just like
yeah, so there. Can you even see that? You guys
let me
can't
see.
even
Let
see
me.
that.
Yeah. No. If you zoom in, you can. Yeah, but yes, I can see the chord. Yes, and then
Yeah.
if you look
So there, the V is you're. Do you want them going
inside, like
basically
diagonal inside the chord. Yes, so like in the 45 kind of.
like that?
That will be like the V backwards. So like like you have to flip it so the arrows go inside the chord. I wish I would have a pen, but like what we can do, Pete.
What's that?
I can. So the basic chain of drills, when people want to practice on the ball machine, I can send you, Peter, a link from a video of Emilio working on that. So we can
Oh,
do
that'd
that.
be great.
Yes. So everyone who's interested can send you an email if that's okay, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna upload 3 little exercises with the V, how to work on that with the ball machine. So I can get everything ready today.
Can
Yeah.
you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. So yeah,
Kind of.
so
All right. Well, I
basically
want to
the,
see
what
it
the
then.
V is, you enter the court and then you always recover to your home base. which is
Mm.
right around the center mark of the baseline, and then you do that into defense backwards. You can do it offense in entering in, and then you have the counter punch, what he calls counter punch, those open stands where you don't have time. So you have three moving directions basically. So, and I'll put the link in, and you can work on the ball machine because a lot of players go on the ball machine and they just hit the ball,
Yeah.
but they don't work on the stepping in on the defensive shots, and then on the neutral, on the counter punch shot. So you can do way more on the ball machine. You can put a cone on the center mark. You can hit a ball and shuffle around the cone. So you need to make sure when you're on the ball machine and you're comfortable controlling the ball that you add some elements of footwork into that as well. And always offense, defense, and neutral, like we said earlier. You can do that easy. So I'm gonna have a link for you later, Pete. You can share that with the people who are interested. They can maybe send you an email, and then I just load it up in my Dropbox, send you the link, and then everyone can watch it. So seeing Emilio in action a little bit, and maybe to get a little bit an idea of what's expecting everyone. And I took in Mexico a video of him explaining the doubles a tiny bit. So
Okay.
I'm gonna upload that as well. It's only a minute and a half video, but you see the areas. He speaks in Spanish, but at least you can see the way he acts on the court and interacts with the people. So that might be interesting for some of the viewers.
Okay, cool. So Mark already says Mark is totally obsessed. This guy's amazing. He's skyrocketed his improvement, and what was interesting is he's really leaving no stone unturned. First, he really started to improve his technique,
Hmm.
and then he started work on his footwork and his fitness. And then we actually worked together a little bit about, he's a big power player, but I kind of added like, hey, let's sometimes, set stuff up with a chip so then you can
Hmm.
make your rip more effective. And so he now has gone from like where he was somebody who looks like a stud, but he was playing like 3-5 ish, and now
Hmm.
he's up to 4-5 ish, and he's over 60.
Oh
And but
wow,
if you looked at him, you'd go, I see why, because like he's so dedicated, but he's like even though he's 60, he's a physical beast. He's strong.
nice. No,
Yeah,
that's nice to
yeah,
hear. Yeah, no,
yeah, yeah. So
definitely.
that's pretty cool. So he wants that. Mariana,
Yeah.
who, oh, by the way, I want to give a shout out to Mariana. Maybe you can put in your comments section, Mariana. You can put, how to get in touch with. She made
Oh
these
wow.
beautiful. Yeah, Davor, you're on here.
I
Can you
know.
see
On the
yourself?
left there. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
see? So we got all the tennis con. I'm actually after lunch. Don't worry, guys. We'll give more away. I'm not giving
That's
one away
beautiful.
today. I got to pace myself a little bit. But I'm actually after we do our live stream. I gotta send Kay. Kay won our first one of these,
Oh
and
wow.
then so Mariana made these. So give yourself a shout out, Mariana, in the chat. She made this an ornament with me and Maribon
I like that as well.
with a little tennis con thing.
Nice.
And then she made
Wow.
these towels.
Here we go.
So she does great work, and she loves tennis, and she wants it too. So what I'll do is I'll look at everybody who's clicked a link in the last 24 hours. That mean that you basically wanted to come to this live stream, and
Yeah.
everybody who's clicked on a link in my email list, I will send when you get me those
Yeah.
videos. Can you
I
get me
have
those
that ready.
videos today by any
Yeah, that
chance?
tonight. Yes, like I'm gonna
Tonight.
when
So
I'm
be
done with
looking out.
everything, it's gonna be late tonight, but I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna
Okay, so
upload
I'll
those
either send
tonight.
it out later tonight or tomorrow.
Hmm.
And Davor, I thank you so much for being on. I know you got more busy stuff on the court today, so I want to appreciate your time. And
No.
again, guys, just one more time, if you are interested, if you wanted to come November 14th through the 16th, you can do that. Mariana said, "Thank you, Davor."
You're very welcome.
And thank you guys for being on with us and grinding out the victory today. We know in the beginning the sound was a little off, but Devore, you sound beautiful right now. In fact, you could
Yeah,
start
I don't know
singing
what
some.
it was. I didn't
Yeah, you
change
could.
anything.
Yeah, I mean, who knows with technology? You could maybe start singing the Frank Sinatra song. You sound so good. But
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll leave that to
he,
other people with
you'll,
the
you'll skip
singing.
you'll skip that. But
Yes.
anyway, Devore, thank you so much. We'll
Thank
be
you for
sending
having me
out
on.
those videos. And I'm going to be live tomorrow with John Craig. He's going to go through
Mm,
his 10 all-time tennis lessons, what the 10 most important things that he thinks is important for club players in over 30 years of coaching. He's very good. We've got a preview video out today. I don't know if you guys have seen that, which it's Brady Height showing you how he learned how to get 10 to 15 miles an hour to a serve when he was a kid, so don't be like, well, he's 6'6". Before he was 6'6" and before he had a good serve, he shows you the drill that kind of helped him get a good serve. Guys, you can be 7 foot tall and have a crappy serve. You have to have the technique to match the height. And Brady's got like a flawless serve. I teach you a no-field drill for the racket drop, which is pretty cool. And then John Craig, who we'll have on tomorrow, he teaches you how to really get into a perfect setup and make sure your toss is money. And we know how people are frustrated with their toss. So that's coming out. Then we have another preview video later this week with Greg Lesueur from OTI on how to attack the forehand. Thomas from Field Tennis. I love this guy because when he just talks, you just give him instant respect because he just sounds so smart. He's got that foreign accent. He's just very calm. So right away, you know that you're in good hands with him. And then Shadiza Robinson, who played number 1 at Georgia singles and doubles, she's going to show you how to hit that two-handed backhand. And man, her backhand's awesome. I love watching it. So that's going to come out, and then we'll have a strategy preview the next day. So we got some good stuff coming from Gigi Fernandez, Will Bocek.
Yeah.
Bocek.
Yeah.
Will Bocek. Will from Fuzzy Old Balls. And Jonathan Stokey.
Oh, great.
The Stoke Master.
The Stoke Master. That's a great lineup there.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how awesome TennisCon is this year. And as I was telling Davor, I had to expand it to a top 50 list because you guys were maxed out on points all the way to 25. So you guys are like insanely going through this course, which is amazing. And we're just going to keep dripping awesome videos in the membership so you can play the game. I think that's all I got right now. What do you think?
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Can I say one more word?
Sure.
I wish there are a lot of guys out there, but I wish there would be more like you out there, Pete, that's so passionate. And what you're doing with the tennis corners, you give access to the best coaches. And, even the 48-hour free access, you allow people to see it and to grasp the idea of it and learn something, even if you don't get the pass or you just want to watch it a little bit, even for all of the enthusiastic players. I think it's so important, and everything you do is as important for our sport, it's amazing.
Thank you, Davor. Well, I look forward to being with you in less than a month. That's going to be awesome. And guys, you have a good day. Go out there and hit some balls. If you can't hit some balls, do some footwork patterns around the house or out in the yard. You want people to know that you're obsessed. I want your neighbor looking in your yard going, what the heck is Mariana doing right now? What is she doing over there? She's losing her mind. All right, guys. We'll see you all in the next video.